and I thought I would come on here today and show you what I do quarterly for homeschool. So I live in the state of New York. In New York, we are required to do quarterly reports, and I had one that was just due on Friday. And you can pick the day for each of the quarter, you know what I mean, the date as far as that is concerned. But for myself, I just go ahead and I leave it as the dates because, they've put in there that these are the dates that they want them, but technically they really can't tell me which dates. I can pick the dates, but I go ahead and I leave those dates, and then because we basically homeschool year round, that means that the hours and such will fluctuate quite a bit, and actually for the first quarter we usually end up with a whole lot more hours because when you homeschool in the state of New York, you're required 900 hours of instruction and 180 days. And I think what I figured out is we're like at 160 days, I think, right now, and we were at, I want to say like 820, something like that. Like, I don't know. I just did a quick addition in my head. So we are really super close to actually meeting the requirements for what a school year will be here in the state of New York. But like I said, we just kind of keep going, and I just kind of roll things over. Okay, so what I do is, so after each quarter, this is what I've done so far, because for kindergarten, you don't have to report anything in the state of New York. So last year I didn't have to legally report anything, so I didn't. I have my own records. I have records for preschool even. I have them that I put in a bin. It's like one of those flat, remind you of shirt type holder type bins, not really big, just enough to fit the material in that we used for each school year. So after each quarter, I went ahead and anything that's loose, I go ahead and I put it in a folder, and just I labeled it, first grade, first quarter, first grade, second quarter, first grade, third quarter, just so that I have the papers and they're actually in something and not just floating around until I go ahead at the end of the school year and I add them to my bin. So anyways, we are required, like I said, we are required to report the hours of instruction, how many days our child is present, how many days are absent, the grade. You have to tell them who is preparing the progress report, all of that kind of thing, with address, name of child, all that stuff. So you will see on my paper that I put some stickies over the top of my personal information. And y'all know that my granddaughter's name is Hope. So anyways, this is what we have to include in our quarterly report, progress report. So you have to mention academic progress, and then the required subjects are arithmetic, English and language arts, social studies, science, health, music, visual arts, physical education, and library skills. So as you will see, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I'm thinking maybe I'll turn it around. It'll be easier for you to see. I'll kind of switch my my camera around, and you can see it a little bit more clearly maybe than if I'm trying to. Okay, so this is my prepared quarterly report for the third quarter of first grade. In our district, we're fortunate enough that they let me email the information to them, and there's a lot more that goes into homeschooling in the state of New York. This is just one of the things that you do as a homeschooler, and I just thought maybe y'all would like to take a look if you homeschool in the state of New York, or you're looking to homeschool in the state of New York. And if you're interested, I will definitely share more in depth of the requirements that are needed to homeschool in this state. But as you can see, so up here at the top, homeschool quarterly progress report, third quarter for the 2018-29 school year. Then prepared by, and I have my name and my address and my email and all of that nonsense in there. This is the third quarter report, what grade, the student's name, The hours of instruction, this time we did 215 plus hours. And let me see, in other quarters, it was a whole lot more. Obviously, our first quarter included summer instruction, so there were a lot more hours. Number of days present this quarter, number of days absent, and then a progress. So I keep it pretty low key. Like Hope has completed at least 80% of all planned activities in all curriculum areas for this quarter. Her progress is satisfactory with continued growth in all areas. So then I go ahead and, like, for arithmetic, I remind them of the curriculum that we're using, and we send in at the beginning of the school year an IHIP, which gets into exactly all of the curriculum that we are using for the school year, with syllabus included or table of contents, so they know exactly what our curriculum will cover for that particular school year. And then also you will see the next thing is English Language Arts. And because we use All About Reading and Explode the Code, and I also include our Spelling You Seed curriculum in there, plus all of the read alouds that we did for this this quarter, which when I went back to look, I was like, wow, we really did do a whole lot of read alouds. So this actually continues on here to the top of the next page. And I even said in this particular thing, like for instance, she completed All About Reading level 1 and just started level 2. And the scope and the sequence for All About level 1 is included in the IHIP. Because, you know, this could get extremely lengthy if I really wrote down every single thing that we did. So I covered basics and then said, you know, go ahead and refer to the IHIP. Then for social studies, you know, she continues to learn about early American history, went ahead and included all of the things that we did, not only with our Beautiful Feet curriculum, but also with the geography book that we're using and some internet links and some of the read alouds, because we did Harriet Tubman and Maya Angelou this quarter. And then for science, same thing. We've completed assignments in Sassafras Science, Volume 1, Zoology. Kind of just gave an overview of what have we been doing, and that we went beyond what we were studying in Sassafras, and I included some of the other animals that we hit on, because Hope is all about animals and zoology, and actually we are going to continue with zoology next year with a completely different science curriculum, because she wanted to keep studying animals. Her wish and her hope is to someday be a veterinarian. So then, of course, here is health. Very simple and basic. The book that we use is an Abeka book, and we're actually changing that up too. And I will link, I will put a link up on top or in the description box of the video that I recently did showing the unboxing for second grade curriculum. So next page, so my report was 3 pages. Next page is music. And we use Christian Led Education, so, you know, really simple explanation of what we're doing in that. For visual arts, I let them know of what we were using for art, and also that we had recently visited a museum, and like last quarter she was actually in a play at a local theater group, so we included that in our last quarter. And like for physical education, she's continuing to take ballet lessons, that kind of thing, that she likes to go outside and whatever. And like last quarter, you know, it was sledding, tobogganing, whatever, those kinds of things, and soccer or whatever she might be involved in. And the last thing they require is library skills. Just, you know, letting them know that we go to the library weekly, and how much reading we do, which they can tell by looking back at our language arts curriculum, that is something that we do. Okay, everyone, that's just like a quick overview of something that actually takes me quite a bit of time to prepare. And if you would like more information, feel free to ask me in the comments. Please feel free to Let me know if you would be interested in a more in-depth look of what it takes to homeschool in the state of New York. I would be happy to share a video about that. I would probably have to make that into some kind of a series in order for me to cover all that is required here in the state of New York. And anyways, make sure that you like this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel before, please do. I do homeschool videos. I do lots of collabs, day in the lives. Up until recently, I would go live, but I can't go live because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. And in order to go live, you have on your cell phone, which is what I do all of my videos on, you need to have 1,000 subscribers. So unfortunately, unless I get a laptop with a webcam, I will not be able to go live. Yeah, that kind of stinks. So anyways, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell, and you will be notified when I upload new videos. And I'm taking part in VEDA, and if you don't know what VEDA is, it's vlogging every day in April. So I will talk to you soon. God bless.